When it comes to culture, every culture has its differences. And within every culture, there's always positive things about the culture and negative things about the culture. Um, Personally, when it comes to like the black culture, I love that we are good at certain things like rhythm and dancing and music and things like that. But of course, we're not the only ones. But it's some of the things that I do love about our culture. But some of the things I hate about our culture is, how kind of we're depicted in movies, or most movies, not all, and television, and even sometimes the way your favorite streamers act.
Watermelon and a bowl of rotisserie chicken.
Oh my.
But anyway, I digress. The There are some harmful things that are also in cultures. But which culture should we talk about, and what is the most harmful thing about the culture? And so this video is obviously we're gonna be reacting to the YouTube channel Ohmeezzy, and like if Ohmeezzy ever sees this video or this reaction or whatever, it's just like, bro, you might want to like just be careful of the shirts you wear when you're recording a video. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful of the shirts you wear. All right, but let's get into it.
How are you? Can you?
Wait, what did it say?
Are you?
That chat GPT. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Can you help me find love?
Of course, after you find a barber to fix that cropped hairline.
Oh. Okay. Well, what is the worst trend in the black community?
Yep, black community, I figured.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Never seen no with a whipping in school. Hey.
I'm gonna try it. You gotta inhale it. When you give me, put that all on my backside.
Yeah, my man's hit us, so I gotta switch it.
2024 has been an awakening moment for a lot of people.
Yep. Pretty much everything I hate about our culture. Our promotion of drugs, sex, violence. And that's what people, tend to... People who have not interacted with black people, it's what they will intend to know. They'll generalize about the black community. And it sucks because not all of us are like that. That now, once again, there are some things I like about it, like people being like, saying I heard black dudes were, saying hung. I'm saying that part is true. You feel me? But anyway, or like being good at sports. I don't even like sports. I don't play sports, bro. I'm a nerd. Games, anime. Yeah, that's me. Coolest nerd alive. Coolest nerd alive.
People in the black community, specifically on the internet. There have been trends, there's been music, there's been content creation that has really exposed a lot of the flaws that the black community has. And it's something that we don't talk about often on these platforms. So, hey, who better to tackle it than me? There's so many places in which I could start from, but...
Is that a Naruto shirt? What? I keep looking at the shirt like trying to figure out what it is.
I think one thing that influences the other, and...
Because when the shirt's like halfway, it only shows like half of it, the whole picture doesn't look very good.
It's kind of like a chicken laid the egg situation. What came first? Blah, 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 blah. You got to start with the music. This was the year of the woman, and I don't think it was one of the best years at all. Yeah, I'm jumping right into it. I love her because of who she is, but Sexy Red is not doing anything good for the community. Look, sometimes the music can be catchy. Sometimes the beats can be popular, but the whole Sexy Red, Coochie Daddy, Coochie Baby Mama, all that movement is so overblown, and it's actually not doing anything good. I don't know what we could do about it, but the only thing that I can say is we have to cut it off our airways.
Because like the only thing that it's doing is promoting the younger female members of the black community to act and impersonate and try to become the same way. they see that she's got a living life like that, and she's got all this money and stuff. So they're gonna try to emulate what they see so that they can also have money and have a sense of I made it. You know what I'm saying? But like it's not good because she's not promoting anything positive for young black women to idolize. She's just promoting a bunch of negative stereotypes within the black community that, once again, young black women will want to idealize and follow those black stereotypes because, hey, she's doing it and she's got money and she seems successful and she's always on TV and always on the radio and always blah, 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 blah. Shit, I kind of want to do that, so I'm going to do that. So you see how that works? Like, young kids are impressionable. And like I've always been saying, if you're trying to get something to take off and a product or something to take off or an idea, mindset to take off, then target the kids. Because if you can get the kids, then the kids, then it'll continue to pass down through everyone else. And obviously people are going to say, yo, the music's not for is rated, parental advisory and shit like that. But that's not going to stop children from hearing it and watching the videos. I mean, shit, their parents are probably going to introduce it to them. That's just terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's that the history of music, black music goes back for years, for decades. And it's been in my opinion, it's been a movement to continuously make black music degrading so that it affects the black community in general. But that's just my opinion. Maybe it's conspiracy theory. I don't know. But there's a history behind that, in my opinion, was created to put the black people, the black community, into the kind of the position that we're in right now, so that we wouldn't try to become more than what we currently are.
The problem with the culture is that social media injects a lot of the bad things into your bloodstream, into your veins, and you can't get anything but that next fix. You become some sort of junkie. I've seen videos of Sexy Red all across my timeline. I can only imagine what the kids are seeing. And hell, I don't even have to imagine that. I've seen videos of Sexy Red at the high schools coming in smelling like weed.
Stay off the weed.
Hey. Weed isn't for everyone. But if it's not for everyone, but if you can stay busy and not let it affect your life in a negative way, then you do you, because it's only a plant. And if you just so happen to set it on fire, there are some effects. But like I said before, it's not for everybody. That's all I gotta say. Now, there are even some health benefits that people are looking into for when it comes to THC, but that's neither here nor there. And obviously, some people have problems with just wanting to constantly smoke it, and they don't know, and they just stay unproductive. You know what I'm saying? Then that's terrible. But if you can be productive and you can control your intake of it, and when to smoke and when not to smoke, and if you can go days, weeks, or months without smoking it, but feel like smoking every now and then if you are in control of it and it not in control of you, then that's good.
I've seen videos of kids singing songs and doing dances to Sexy Red's music. I've been to sporting events where a bunch of kids are sitting around screaming and dancing, singing Sexy Red songs that they're playing at the events. And then when you factor in the ways that she's endorsing the presidential candidates, and then you also factor in the ways that she's selling her own her own products, the Hoochie Mama lip gloss, this can't be one of the better examples of hip hop music that we have today.
But she doesn't care because she's making money. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's like J. Cole said in that song 1985 or whatever, right? Like, you don't see how it affects the other community. He pretty much says, like, you don't see how it affects the other community, but you getting bread, so keep doing. But you keep doing what you do. That's all you're worried about. That's all you want to focus on. So whatever. And that's exactly how Sexy Red is feeling. Like, she doesn't give a shit about how it's affecting the community. She's just getting money and she wants to get to the bag, even if it means stepping on, those that type of people that you grew up with. same as influencers. When they start to get a little bit of fame, they turn to start trying to scam their audiences that help them get that level of fame. They don't care about their audiences. They don't care about their community. They just want to get the bag.
Is widely known, accepted by everyone, and we are normalizing her behavior. It's not just Sexy Red in the female category that over-sexualizes herself. It is also the Glorrillas of the world, the Ice Spices of the world, the Cardi B's, the Meg Thee Stallions. Basically, every female rap artist that is at the top of the game right now is selling to the nth degree. Glorilla making...
Now, there's also, it's not just a female, rap artist. There's a lot of male rap artists who just who sell the idea of being a drug addict, or the idea of being a drug pusher, or the idea of just being a gangster and selling violence and telling you to kill your ops. So it's not just the female rappers. There's also a bunch of male rappers that are also in the wrong.
Nutted Me music, Ice Spice Can't Stop Twerking, and Cardi B going from having a baby to being in the club next week and seemingly admitting to having with another man while she was pregnant because her husband cheated. I just don't know who these young people have to look up to for some sort of positive influence. Now, on the flip side of those things, for the men and the young boys out there, they don't have positive role models either. This year was the biggest year in a rap. YSL went down and seemingly got out of it, but this wasn't a bad look because it exposed all the bad things that were potentially hiding behind the beats. So many drill rappers this year died or either got locked up for the conspiracies of murders and things like that. And don't forget about the music that they're pushing. It's all negative. There's no positivity in any of that drill rap or some of the top rappers in the game today. Even if we go to the tippity tops of the Kendrick Lamars and the Drakes, while it was fun and entertaining and it did produce for some good raps, it was nothing but negative content being spewed out there, lies, allegations, and honestly character defamation spewed across tracks with hot beats. And it's crazy because both of them got...
Okay, but yeah, that's the Kendrick Lamar and Drake when they were going back and forth with each other. But what about like the Mr. Morales and things like that? Like Kendrick still tried to have some good positive influence, in my opinion. And then of course you can't forget about J. Cole, who makes songs like KOD and things like all this other things that is trying to like shed a light on the negative parts of the community, at least in my opinion. And then, no, he's not at the tippy top anymore, but he's still one of my favorite rap artists, Lupe Fiasco. Like when his song Daydreaming, his entire album Food and Liquor, you should check that shit out. It's what people would call conscious rap. And then there's people like Mos Def and things like there are some good male rappers out there. I don't really listen to female rappers, so I'm not sure about that. But I know back in the day, there were a bunch of good female rappers like Queen Latifah, who was actually putting forth like some positive female empowerment music. But yeah, even some of the music that Kendrick and Drake put out, like when they were going back and forth for their beef, was I guess it did have some negative connotations. But also, in my opinion, yeah, I think Kendrick was trying to do his best to show us who Drake really was.
Got rewarded by being at the top of the charts, and hell, even Kendrick Lamar is going to be on the main stage of the Super Bowl. But if he was going to be on the main stage of the Super Bowl, it should probably be because he did some positive things in rap and hip-hop music, not necessarily taking down Drake in this defamatory way. Now, if Drake did that shit,
how do you know that? I don't think that's, how do you know that's the way, like the way he put that is that he's only going to be during the Super Bowl because he took down Drake. I don't think that's necessarily what the reason is. Yeah, I mean, you can speculate that, hey, he's got one of the longest running top songs that are out right now. That's still probably number one somewhere or something like that. But you can't say that that's the reason why he's doing the Super Bowl. Like, I'm pretty sure it is a part of the reason, but it's not the only part of the reason, in my opinion.
He should get caught.
He did that shit. He guilty as fuck.
At the end of the day, all these things are allegations, and we can't 100% say that this person did this. But all we know is we came in the club, danced around to A minor, a lyric referencing the fact that Drake hangs around with minors and has some sort of affliction and affinity to minors. Now, with that being said, for every negative...
Well, I mean, there was proof of that, so...
side of the music industry, you know, the Lil Durks, the Lil Babies, there's always a Doce, there's always a Coco Jones, there's always a JID. But what happens in today's society is that those rappers who sling the most gutter lyrics and the most cringy things get promoted, while the ones who do the good music honestly get demoted for it. For some reason, the negative aspects of hip hop music is glorified, and I don't know why. Young women want to become baby mamas with BBLs to these rappers, and the young men want to go out there and be crash test dummies for a gang that doesn't care about them, while also talking about these things in their raps, ultimately getting caught up in some RICO case that they knew nothing about. And the whole time we're finding out that none of these people really live these lives. A lot of these people are broke, and there's a lot of fronting and flexing for the internet. But this doesn't stop the younger generations from following that lifestyle and saying to themselves, how can I emulate this? Part of the reason.
Well, I mean, like I said before, and I know there's a rapper that talked about, you know, being in the industry. I can't remember their name, but if I did remember it, or if I remember before I put this video out, then I'll make sure I add it somewhere in this. But the rapper mentioned how in some parts of the industry, like the companies would say, hey, put this type of music out. Hey, do this type of music out. Obviously, the label has to okay your album before they start promoting it and things like that, and all the songs they go through your whole song list and all that. And if it's not to their liking, then they won't promote it. And so they'll tell you, hey, make this type of music instead. Make, you know, something like a little more drilled size. Make something like about killing your ops. Make something about pushing drugs. Make something about doing drugs and lean, or make something like that, and then we'll promote it. And so that's why a lot of the ones that are at the top like that, especially if they're in certain labels, the music that they promote, the music that gets promoted from them, is that type of, you know, harsh lifestyle, that negative impact type of music. Whereas there are some, I'm sure a lot of people say it's better to go independent, you know, not just because of what, you know, the money, the difference you can make in money, and that the type of contracts labels try to get you in, but also because you'll have that more the freedom to make the type of music that you want to make. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan Lucas, for example, he's a good music artist. He talks about a lot about what his experience, and I don't think there's most of his music is extreme, is positive. I don't think there's any negative connotations in his music. Like if you want, you could. There's a song called "Voice to Cappuccini." You should definitely check that song out. It's story based. Like he's telling a story that's based off a true story. Like the person Royce Cappuccini actually went through the events that Jordan Lucas raps about in the song. And then there's another, like in one of his older songs, it's like crap. I forgot what it's called, but so I'll just skip that one. But then there's also like a one called Broski, where it's like, all right, well, you made it, and now that you made it, you know, you got people that are coming up to you like, yo, where's, with their hands out, pretty much. And so, but he has a lot of positive music, in my opinion. At least music that's not negative connotations and trying to promote violence, drugs, sex abuse, whatever, all that stuff.
Reason why is because in the music industry and a lot of other industries, there aren't a lot of positive black male role models or black female role models that are at the forefront of things. Real quick, name the richest black person in the US that's not a part of the entertainment industry. Go.
Barack? I don't know.
See, I bet you can't even do it. The thing is,
also, this thing behind that's above his head, whatever is behind him, makes it remind to me, it kind of makes him look like Batman. He's just missing the front part of the mask.
we glamorize the lifestyle and the visual more than the actual tangible and safe. So we're talking about rappers, we're talking about pop stars, hell, the streamers even. Those things get glamorized over the investors, over the bankers, over the real estate moguls any day of the week. And that leads to a bunch of people turning down alleyways and paths that they probably should not be going down just because it's the flashiest way to go about getting seen on television or on the internet. People today don't want to be a Robert F. Smith. People today don't want to be a David Stewart, even to the point where they will downplay 9-to-5s in order to prop up hustle culture.
Hey man, I just stopped to get some breakfast and I just seen my dog at his work truck getting him some breakfast. And he's like, man, that's money. That's what it do, man. What's up, man? I'm like, damn, look at my dog working, man. Man, my dog got a job, man. And then I just went to thinking, like, man, he really done turned into some suckers, man. I didn't think it was gonna be like that.
Like, why would you get on social media saying that you turned into some sucker because you put down the street life? I honestly say living to be 35 and not getting caught up in a slew of legal cases where you can't see your kids anymore doesn't make you a sucker. It makes you a good person. Come to think of it, it seems like everything that I've been talking about so far can only be traced back to one point, and it's social media. Social media is supposed to be a great place of gathering.
Real quick, that's another terrible thing about the culture, because if you're trying to make it out of the hood in a legal way without trying to, without going through entertainment and, which wants you to promote all the negative aspects of the hood. If you're trying to make it out of the hood legally and trying to better yourself, then people will call you a bunch of names. People in the culture will call you a bunch of names like, oh, you white. They'll start saying you talk white. I've heard that a bunch of times. They'll start saying that, oh, you just, like Uncle Tom ass niggas, like that kind of shit. But the man is trying to, the people who try to make it out of the hood legally, just are trying to do better for themselves, because they've seen what happens in the hood if you stay there too long, or what can happen in the hood if you stay there too long. They ain't trying to be in there. They ain't trying to end up, like some of the other people do, like a crack addict or just dead due to some random shooting that you might not even have been a part of. They just try and make it out the hood so that they can do better for themselves and build a legacy and better for the family that they want to start. They don't want to stay in the hood. But if you try to make it out legally, then, as people try, it's like crabs in a bucket. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like that. They try to drag you back in with negative intentions and negative talk towards you, versus just being like, good for you, man. I'm proud of you doing it the way you did. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Do it like that, man. Don't be like us. Do it like that. And instead of trying to promote that type of lifestyle, they're trying to talk bad about it and downplay it. It's crazy, bro.
Sharing ideologies, debating over trivial things like sports or cars. But honestly, social media, specifically X and YouTube, have been turned into a cesspool of content that is honestly divisive, negative, or can hurt people's egos and emotions that cause them to do the most drastic things in the whole world. Social media has this thing where it fills itself with trends of people doing stupid stuff and showing off how crazy they can be. And I find myself asking myself this question all the time. What is the worst trend in social media? It just, I really gotta, I can't think.
What the fuck? Gambling? Wants to be a millionaire?
Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
What the
Here
fuck?
with Omar. Are you ready to be a millionaire?
I think so. I think I'm ready.
The question for tonight is...
Yeah, real quick, that was a really good transition. Shout out to Ohmeezzy. I'm guessing this is Cameron Walk. Shout out to both of them, especially Ohmeezzy for that transition. That was good. Let's check this out.
What is the worst trend in the black community? We have A, young brothers, or YNs. B, you ain't gonna wanna whip it.
Okay. Whip it?
Oh, God.
Whip it.
That's okay.
And then C, skibbity D, toilet raise.
Oh, God.
I don't even think I know what that is.
But what's D?
Okay. I know it. I know what it is.
Do you really know, brother?
God.
You know you can.
I don't even know what skipping is.
You can own a lifeline.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use a lifeline here. Okay,
he's
I'm
using
call
his
somebody.
lifeline,
I'm gonna
guys.
call somebody. Let me call somebody right now.
This is clever, creative. I like
Hey,
it.
you have a minute? I'm on a game show. What is the worst trend in the black community in 2024? Got him. It's Cameron.
Now the whippet epidemic is bad.
Because
So Cameron Walk is this guy. I mean, this is. I was hoping it was him because I saw it featuring Cameron, and one of the other black creators that I react to is this Cameron. But I didn't know. But when the other guy popped up, I was like, I guess that's Cameron Walk, and not the one that I thought it was gonna be. But here we go.
You have people out here smoking nitrous oxide like it's a vape, when nitrous oxide is literally proven to kill your brain cells.
Yep.
And the saddest part is that people know this, yet they still tend to do it because, hey, nitrous oxide is just in right now. I'm pretty sure we've all seen Galaxy Gas. You got rappers doing it in the studio, random people doing it on social media, content creators even doing it in their skits. And then people see that, they go out and try it, and now they're falling over in 5th period surrounded by their friends. Like, it's actually insane. And oh, did I also mention that Galaxy Gas can literally be used to boost the speed of your car? It's pretty obvious that this isn't something that people should just be normally putting in their body.
It's supposed to be used to make like whipped cream. That's what it's supposed to be. One of the main like intentions behind it. It's supposed to be. It's in the food industry, and that's how people are selling it online. And that's how it's still legalized in a way, but it's supposed to be used to like it's in smaller little injector thingies. It's supposed to be put into like one of those little whipped cream utensils or sprayers. It's supposed to be used to make or push out whipped cream, and I guess make cars faster, but people have taken to inhaling it and trying to get a high off of it in a quote unquote legal way because, since it's being marketed as a food product, people can order it and get their hands on it. So.
Bodies. But then you also got the YN epidemic, which is also pretty bad because you got these 13-year-olds walking around with more artillery than the US military, and people are applauding it for some reason. Apparently it's good to have a Switch at 10 years old. For some reason, it's now also good to crash out, all because of this YN epidemic. And you may be thinking like, oh, this isn't as bad, Whippets are bad, but this isn't as bad. No, it gets even worse. The other day, I saw a video of YNs chasing the cops. Do you know how fearless you have to be to chase the people who enforce the laws each and every day? That is insanity. You would have thought that the YNs had the Infinity Stones, the way that the world fears them. But no, they just have Glock 19s with switches at 13 years old. It is wild. And if you thought that that was crazy, it gets even crazier because there's also this video of these YNs stealing a Corvette in broad daylight. Do you know how crazy of a human being you have to be to steal a Corvette in broad daylight like it's a GTA heist? Another thing about these YNs is that they are always rocking these shiesties no matter where they go. It could be a hot summer day in Arizona, and for some reason, these YNs are walking around with shiesties in an all-black fit with a black puffer coat posted up outside. It's insane. But yeah, overall, between the Whippets and the YNs,
I still don't know what a shiesty is. Wait.
How crazy of it's a GTA they go. It could be a hot summer dens is that they are always rocking these shiesties.
Is the thing around their head the shiesty? Is that what that is? Because this entire time I still never knew what the fuck a shiesty was. But is it this thing that's around the head that they got in the head? Is that the shiesty?
No matter where they go. It could be a hot summer day in Arizona, and for some reason, these YNs are walking around with shiesties in an all-black fit with a black puffer coat posted up outside. It's insane. But yeah, overall, between the Whippets and the YNs, they're both pretty bad. Like, it's pretty hard to pick between the two.
All right, thanks. Thanks for all the help. That was a waste of time.
So your friend was of no help?
No help at all. I'm gonna go with Whippets as my final answer. I'm gonna lock that in. I know what that is at least.
The answer is
D, all the above.
It is Skibbity D, Toilet Rig.
I don't even know what that is.
Are you serious?
I don't even know what this is.
He's not a millionaire.
Oh, God. I can't believe that's the actual answer. But seriously though, between Whippets and YNs, I don't know what's actually worse. I've been hearing from some of my friends that there are literal cans of Whippets that just litter the streets of some of these major cities. And I can only be assuming that these are done by the YNs who ultimately put this stuff on social media. And that's where the negativity comes in, because people are glamorizing and popularizing these things. And then on the women's side of things, which we've covered on this channel, I don't know why these women feel the need to go into OnlyFans and turn into some sort of social media trend.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, sweetie?
Can you show me how to use these?
Ooh, what you mean by that? What you mean show you?
Can you show me? Do you think they'll fit?
A little too intimidating. Yeah, hell yeah, it'll fit. I get off in like 5 minutes. Shit, we go head to my car and shit. I clock out for you.
Then let's find out.
Shit, fuck.
Oh my God.
Back in my day, these things used to be separate. The Whippets used to stay offline. The YNs used to stay offline. The OF content creators, the sex workers, they used to stay offline. But now, because these algorithms boost all this negativity, there seems to be this marriage of things where now the content creation world and things like OF have blended. I'm starting to see trends of people do like public sex based off of the Miss B Nasties of the world doing it. And they're doing sex videos in parking lots or playing with themselves to see if they can squirt it up on the screen before they get to the drive-thru. When did this become content? I don't know, but I'm afraid to look at 85% of women's bios because they say that they have a link in it. And these younger girls literally glamorize and look to the day where they can sell their body. There's pictures and videos of young girls who go from 17 to 18, do some sort of birthday shoot and have the words legal spewed across it with cake and balloons and lingerie. And it's nasty because there are so many men that are at the bottom of these comment sections saying, finally, I'm glad this day is here. And because a lot of this stuff is
also, so just to clarify, pretty much hood people have figured out how to make money online, so they brought their hood activities on, or not hood people. Let me reiterate. Hood people figured out that they can make money online by showing their hood activities online, and further spreading, what people who have never interacted with black people, what people don't know what it's like to interact with black people, further spreading this negative connotation that all black people are going to be like this. Because I said it before, I'll say it again, people like to categorize other people. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are already thinking like, well, Asian people are all smart. They're all good at math or some shit like that. Well, people are going to be like, well, black people are just, they'll probably rob you or mug you, or they're good at dancing and they can rap and they're good at sports, but they'll also probably rob you, mug you, scam you somehow, get, find a way to come up off $1 off you. That shit is annoying.
Is ultimately rewarded on the internet. People have turned to become social media content creators and influencers and blend with the likes of the ones that already exist to get all of this stuff off. The degeneracy on these different platforms is so normalized and ingrained that sometimes being a black streamer is synonymous with doing content like smash or pass videos or freaky public interviews.
Freakiest thing you ever done, man?
The freakiest thing I ever done, I went down on the gave a head. Then I hit that spur tongue.
Where you at?
I in the mouth right down the side of the trash can.
Or objectifying and sexualizing even your family members just for the sake of views. Kind of like what Shay Frost does all the time with his sister and his mom. It'd be different if these things stayed on the smaller sides of the internet. Like, okay, you're doing this and nobody really gives a fuck about it. But people like Little RT have seemingly made a name of themselves because black content creators have said, I want to platform this young guy, make him as popular as possible, and bring it to the point where, hey, we're just going to put him all over the internet and make him famous. He has to be like the perfect blend of taking over all the things that make black culture what it is. I'm talking about music. I'm talking about content creation. He's taken over all aspects and sprinkled in levels of degeneracy only to be propped up by the adults around him because they think they can make a quick buck. His new song is like some of the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. And I know oftentimes when people do these black content creator videos, they don't highlight some of the positive content creators out there. I want to give a round of applause to the RDCs, the black NBA YouTubers, the Caleb Cities of the world, the MKBHDs, anybody that's black that's making positive content. But to be honest with you, a lot of times the degeneracy,
I would like to think I'm making positive content, but really I'm just doing reactions. But I'd like to think I'm doing positive reactions, right? Okay. And I do have other content planned, okay? And actually I'm opening up another channel It's called PaperSin Lives Here. I plan on just, vlogging there and talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Can overtake the positive black content that is put out there, and it is honestly disgusting and disturbing, especially when we're getting labeled not necessarily by other races or other groups of people, but when we get labeled within our own communities as, oh, that's what you do. I have a problem with that. And one of the bigger leaders in putting bad reputations on black people's name is the whole black podcasting scene right now. It leads to nothing but pointless conversations like this.
Left my husband. He knew what it was up front.
Right.
He ended up going broke. I have expectations. When you don't meet my expectations, I move the hell on.
You left your husband because he went through a little financial struggle. At any point in time, did you feel that love should have kept you there?
I feel like he didn't love me because if he did, he wouldn't have went through a financial struggle. A man that loves...
That's not something that he can control. Holy shit. It's not... He can't control whether he goes through a financial struggle or not. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. But
the woman don't go through hard times.
This never-ending gender war is something that social media perpetuates, and it's honestly got me so fucking sick. You tap into these podcasts, and they have the same conversations week in and week out about why black men hate black women, why black women hate black men, why aren't black men masculine, why aren't black women too masculine. It's a tiring conversation. They take graphics, they take stats, or they take their weak anecdotal experiences, they misconstrue all of them, flip them, inflate them, and then put it on and project it to other people and make people feel like, yo, this is a huge issue that we need to focus on, when in reality, it's not. Especially when you look at the real statistics and facts behind black marriage. Black men are marrying black women, full stop. Black men are dating black women, full stop. When you go and seek objective truths and live based off of that, and then in your real life, you will probably make yourself so much better, as opposed to consuming all this divisive rhetoric and saying, this is the reason why, and giving yourself excuses as to why you aren't succeeding in the dating game or with the other gender. I'm sorry to tell you, but you probably are a terrible person. But I can see why people get so caught up in the content that is provided. It honestly gives them justification as to why their life is not working correctly. But I'm sorry, you can pull up whatever anecdotal experience about 50-50 in the black community that's not proven by any sort of fact, but just the realities that you live in. That's not going to make your situation better. It might give you a little band-aid for today, but tonight when you go to bed thinking, that content I consumed really helped me, and I'm crying at night, but it really helped me, you'll realize soon enough that you were the actual issue. Look, I can go on and on about the negative sides of the black community, because I think that there are a lot of things that do need to be addressed, cleaned up, and maybe we can move past some of these old talking points if we really fully attack things square on. But there is a lot of positivity out there that should be highlighted and talked about. It's amazing how things like the NBA space, or even the sports media in general, is being taken over and consumed by black creators, ex-athletes and whatnot. You're starting to see more black QBs be in the NFL, starting to see more black coaches as well. In politics, whether you're right-leaning or left-leaning, and whether you agree or disagree with a lot of people, but you're starting to see a lot more black people contribute in those places and spaces. Hell, you're even starting to see positive representations in black relationship content, where they bring on people who are married and who have real lived experiences, and they share those with people that are wanting to listen. You have positive black content from those that create animated videos, those that do IRL content, those that do makeup, those that do fashion. You have all good black content in every niche there is on the internet.
Thankfully.
You have positive black music. You have positive black role models. You have black people attending colleges at a higher rate, black people getting jobs that are being in positions that never would have thought have happened before. But if there's a...
This is true, but a lot of times it's being overshadowed by the negative content.
Chance to dunk on some of the negatives of the black community, we got to take it, because we need to highlight what needs to not be platformed or taken seriously anymore in order to help save the black community once again.
Good video, as always. Shout out to Ohmeezzy and Cameron Walk for on the feature. So it's good shit. And like I said, the good black content that's out there I feel like it's being overshadowed by a lot of the negative type of situations. But in the end, personally, I still love being black. Now, I would like to see the positive black content overshine the negative and start putting forth a a positive spin on the overall outlook of the Black community, you know, how people see us from the outside looking in. And I would love to see, you know, instead of younger black members of the community being like they want to be gang members and rappers, or well, not maybe not just rappers, because sometimes there are positive rappers, but like gang members or drug dealers or selling sex. I would like to see them be more like they want to be scientists. They want to be creative individuals. They want to help uplift, find something that will help uplift the Black community. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Shout out to Ohmeezzy once again. And as always, link to his video and his channel will both be in the description below. So be sure to check him out. And while you're there, don't forget to do those 3 things I like to ask you to do. And like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. And you know what it is after that. In case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace and much love to you.